Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk wrestling. Wyoming Valley West wrestling coach Drew Feldman joining us on the show. Well, Drew, another high expectation for Wyoming Valley West this year. Tell us about the start of the season for the Spartans.
We're off to a great start. We're 4-1. Our only loss coming number one team in the state, Franklin Regional. Had a convincing conference win, our first win of the season over Pittston area. We won 12 out of 13 matches. So we're off to a great start, but, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Del Valle looks really tough in their lineup, so we have a big match coming up with them January 22nd, and then, looking forward to district duels.
Well, looking forward to seeing some great matchups this year, that's for sure. And you mentioned Delaware Valley on the 22nd of January. That's going to be outstanding. You talk about how many wrestlers you have this year and what the depth is like for the Spartans.
Depth's low. We don't have very many backups. There's 14 weight class. We only have 17 kids out. But, what we have out are a very committed group of kids. They're there year-round. So it's tough to get a bunch of kids out, to believe in this kind of system. The kids that we have, bought into it, so they're there year-round. They're putting in a lot of time. So we only have 17 kids out, but they're 17 great kids. I couldn't ask for a better group of kids right now.
When you talk about the individual kids you have this year for the Spartans, tell us about some guys that could make some noise at regionals and possibly at states this year.
Absolutely. We have a couple guys. Right from the start, Travis Roper, he's been in the state tournament before. He's a returning state qualifier. He's undefeated right now. He's already knocked off a two-time prep national All-American, and he's beaten district champion Tyler Utecki from Pittston. So he's off to a great start. Cody Cortez, another kid, 4-1. Only loss coming to Franklin Regional state place winner Josh Shields, who's ranked number one in the state, and that was in ultimate ride out. And then Nathan Cheek, another kid, 4-1. His only loss coming to state runner-up, Michael Kemmer from Franklin Regional. And then we have some lower weights that can make some noise. They drop a weight class, get down to where they need to be. James Wright at 106 and Alex Turk at 115. I think both those guys can really make some noise in the postseason once they get down.
Talk with Drew Feldman, the head coach for Wyoming Valley West Wrestling, here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Drew, when you talk about these guys fighting through it, and you're 17 strong right now for the Spartans as far as depth, and trying to get some great matches this year. You'll go to any tournament you could. You'll sign up against the best teams. And that's what you want to take this program to another level.
Absolutely. To be the best, you have to beat the best. I've talked to Dave Schaefer, a great friend of mine, back when he took over Hazleton, and they started, dominating District 2 when he coached. That's what they did. They just, made a brutal schedule. They tried to wrestle the best. Even if they weren't getting the wins, they were facing the best competition, saw what it takes to be the best, and it was very beneficial to their program. So I'm hoping that's, what happens to ours. We're doing the same thing, Final Four Festival, Hurricane Classic, just did the seminary duels. So our schedule's brutal, and hoping it pays off.
Northeastern Pennsylvania, known for a couple of sports. Field hockey might be the most well-known because we've got All-Americans and we've got Olympians all over the place. Well, you go down to the Lehigh Valley, and they have all that with wrestling. What is the Northeast PA District 2? It's well represented for some good wrestlers, but to get to the level of the Lehigh Valley, if that's possible, I mean, what do they do down there that's so different? Is it they start the kids younger? Is it more kids are involved? Is it the coaching? What do they do?
I think it's a year-round commitment. We try to do it this year with the club program. The clubs are so big in the Lehigh Valley. You have Easton Gold Medal, Bob Weaver, Lee from Becca. They just have so many clubs down there. They go year-round and just get the competition all year round. We tried to do this year, teamed up with Steve Middage over at Wyoming area. We did Team Swagger. We had really good numbers this year. Del Valle's been doing it up there with their 10-man club. But it's just something, it's getting those club programs going, getting kids in the room in the summer, and not just hanging out in the room, but actually preparing, wrestling, drilling, doing stuff that makes you a better wrestler. We've had our wrestling room open year-round for the last couple of years, but this is the first summer where it was open and it was structured. When you came there to work. So I think that's the big thing we're doing right now, trying to get the off-season programs where when you come in the off-season, you're coming to really work.
How about as far as style? Drew Feldman may have had a style. I mean, what do you try to do with wrestlers? And obviously, you want to go with any wrestler's strengths and what they could do, but to compete at that top state level, you got to be able to adapt to a lot of different wrestlers. And you talk a kid, like a kid like Roper. What does he do that works for him so well?
Roper's just so funky. He could, he's in a position where I'm screaming, no, don't do that. And he puts himself in a move and, he gets out on top. And I'm like, oh, okay, do that. That worked. He just has a style that's, very different than most kids will see. But, the thing we're trying to show in our program is just that intensity, constant in-your-face pressure, always looking to score, kind of that old Iowa style. It's what I learned at Wilkes from Coach Slogger, in your face all the time, always looking to score points. And that's what we're trying to do down our room, just, real intense, constant pressure, a lot of conditioning. And it's working so far, so good.
Drew Feldman here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Well, Drew, wish you the best of luck this year in the Wyoming Valley Conference, of course, at districts, and then along with regionals and hopefully getting some guys through the states as well this year. Best of luck.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.